For this final segment of Community Focus, we welcome Steve Wilkowski, the president of the Leon P. Martuch chapter of Trout Unlimited. Steve, who and what is Trout Unlimited?
Well, Trout Unlimited is a national organization that's really focused on the protection of cold water fisheries and making sure that those watersheds are properly protected. The Leon P. Martuch chapter is a local organization linked to the national and Michigan Trout Unlimited chapters that really has that focus and mission. And we're involved in a lot of activities that are aligned to preserving the cold water fisheries in our area, stream restoration, and then educational initiatives such as Salmon in the Classroom.
Well, what are the particulars of Salmon in the Classroom? It's a program your chapter sponsors in local schools?
Yeah, that is absolutely correct. Salmon in the Classroom is actually a program that's initiated by the Michigan Department of Natural Resources. So we partner with the Michigan Department of Natural Resources. They provide salmon eggs through their hatchery program, and then we're involved in linking those eggs as a resource into the classroom programs for the Salmon in the Classroom programs here in our local area. And students take care of those eggs. They receive them around this time of year in October-November timeframe. They raise the salmon throughout the school year, and then it really culminates in the release of the salmon into local waterways. So it's really a great hands-on activity for the kids. There's a lot of STEM linkage into that program as well.
How long has the program been around, the DNR program?
The DNR program's been around for a little over a decade, and it is involved in over 180 schools in the state of Michigan. So it's a fairly large program that the DNR is linked to.
How many programs is your chapter involved with or sponsor?
Yeah, our local chapter currently sponsors eight schools: Saginaw High, Gladwin High, Northeast Middle School, St. Bridget's Catholic School, Midland Elementary, Floyd Elementary in Bullet Creek, Hemlock Middle School, and our newest school is Meridian Junior High. The programs reach out and involved over 1,000 students every school year. So it really gets the kids involved and a good number of students involved in these initiatives and a better understanding of cold water fisheries and the Salmon in the Classroom program in general.
Now, that 1,000 students, that's just for the 8 chapters that you sponsor?
Yeah, absolutely. That's just the 8 schools. Yeah, it's tens of thousands of students. So just locally, we're able to reach that many students.
What is involved in the chapter sponsorship of the program? What
Sure.
What are you obligated for or responsible for?
Right, absolutely. Well, so the Michigan DNR provides us with the salmon eggs for the program annually as part of their hatchery program. But you need a fair amount of equipment to make these little salmon happy. And generally speaking, our program is primarily providing some of the equipment and the costs associated with that equipment. So it's the aquarium, the filtration system, the chillers, which is a big part of the cost because if you have a warm water aquarium, you need to warm that up. But with these types of fish, like these salmon, you actually need to chill the water, and those chillers are fairly expensive. So around $1,200 outlay in equipment for each school, and that's a pretty significant outlay for a science teacher to back up themselves. So we provide that equipment funding initially, and then ongoing help with the consumables associated with raising the fish. We sometimes help with the field trips to get the students from the classroom to the release sites as well.
And now the teachers that have these in their classroom, they must have require some training in order for them to be able to teach the curriculum to help with it? Yeah,
absolutely. It's a pretty big undertaking for a teacher to take on these programs because you've got to raise these fish and they're a little touchy. So they get training. There's required training from the DNR. Our Trout Unlimited chapter helps them out as well. And there's a really amazing amount of curriculum that's been developed for these teachers. So it really helps the teachers link various aspects of the Salmon in the Classroom program, life cycles, aquatic systems, the history and economics. It really ties a lot of cross-curriculum activities into the Salmon in the Classroom program, and they have a very large amount of curriculum, links, notebooks, things like that to help them get their students involved and excited in the program through the salmon that are growing right before the students' eyes in their classroom.
Sounds like a great. It's hands-on, or almost. You don't, but and the release is. But it's something that the students can watch the progress through the course of the year, and then actually be involved with the release, and so that they are. It's a involvement. School-wide, community-wide, ecosystem-wide.
Absolutely, and that's part of why it gets, a lot of the students excited about STEM and how, the science and technology and history links into their classroom, because it really is hands-on. And then it's locally based because we're releasing these salmon into local watersheds. And that allows us to do things at the Chippewa Nature Center, other area nature sites and locations that enable the students to think about the fact that in 2 or 3 years, some of these small salmon smolts that they've watched go from small eggs to salmon fry to these larger smolts that are released in 2 or 3 years, if they make it, can come back to our local watershed and start the whole life cycle over again.
As adults, sure.
Yes.
Excuse me. Are you interested in adding more to the 8 schools, or are you kind of...
Yeah, we're generally looking for teachers if they have interest in adding a salmon in the classroom program to their curriculum in their schools. And it does take a pretty significant commitment. We can provide them with more information about what's required in terms of the equipment, but more importantly, the time and the attention that needs to be put in place to watch after these fish as they're grown from around, like I said, the fall and to the release during the school year.
It sounds like it really revolves around a committed teacher who is willing to take it on, and then having the facilities to be able to do it, provided by the equipment and so on. Now, if anyone is interested in this, where can they get more detailed information about the Salmon in the Classroom program? Sure,
they can contact the Leon P. Martuch chapter of Trout Unlimited. Our website is www.martuchtu.org. We also have a Facebook page, so if you just search Leon P. Martuch in Facebook, you certainly can find our Facebook page. You can contact us that way. And if you want to email me directly at spwilkowski@gmail.com, I can provide you with additional information, link you to our resources as well as the Michigan DNR resources.
Well, Steve, thank you for joining us and telling us about the Salmon in the Classroom program. It's fascinating.